Okay, so I decided to do another YouTube today. I was led to do one focusing on abuse. So this topic is very dear to me and very close to home because I myself was in a relationship where there was domestic violence. It was life changing for me. It's something that I've forgiven, but I will never forget. The woman I was with at the time, when we first started dating and getting to know each other, I did not know that she had mental illness. And people who take mental illness lightly, you should never disregard the signs. If you see signs, pay attention to them because they're showing up for a reason. It definitely taught me a lot about myself. And it made me slow down a lot because I was one of those people who was jumping from one relationship to the next and not allowing myself to take a breather. And so the max time I was single for a while was 2 weeks. And then I was in another relationship with someone else instead of taking the time to really work on myself and allow myself to heal. So I was with this woman. And at the time I had just really started getting into energy work and my life coaching really heavy and promoting my business. And I remember like it was yesterday. I remember seeing, we had been hanging out and I remember seeing, I thought like this container, I thought it was like Tylenol or something, but I realized that it was her medication that she was supposedly needing to take it. And I remember she stopped taking it because it was a series of things that started to happen. But I remember just little signs at the time, when you're in love and you really love someone a lot, you see stuff and you disregard a lot because you think that, oh, it's not really there, or I'm overthinking things. But when a person shows you themselves, believe them because they're showing up for a reason. It's us that disregards the signs and thinks that, oh, it's just going to go away. No. And so I remember being out, we'd be out in public. We'd be around my friends who were all mutual friends of ours at the time. And she would have these like emotional outbursts. She would just start screaming for no reason. And I was like, clearly something isn't right. But again, when a person shows you themselves and you ignore the signs, you're kind of putting yourself in a really, really, really uncomfortable position, a position that you could have potentially avoided. And I remember a very good friend of mine who's very dear to me now, and I love her to death because she sees what I don't. She asked me one day, she says, is there something going on in your relationship that you're not dealing with or talking about? Because something's a little off here. Now, in social settings, I'm typically, I'm really careful with energy. So if I'm really comfortable with you, I'll open up, crack jokes, laugh, and all that kind of stuff. But she noticed that anytime my girlfriend at the time was around, I would just become this really introverted person and I would stop speaking and I would put my head down and I was very uncomfortable. And she, I think she's a social worker. She knows the signs. She knows what to look out for. And so she knew something was going on. And so I remember being in a hotel and none of my friends or family knew where I was. And I remember her choking me. And I remember her eyes, like they were like jet black and she didn't look right. And I remember having to pass out and pretend that I just wasn't there for her to stop. And I remember my whole body after that experience and after we broke up went into a space of shock. And I stopped getting my cycle for a while. Because my body was just like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? And coming from somebody who has trauma in their background, to have an experience like that, it was like I felt myself being re-triggered all over again. But the point I'm trying to make about this experience that I dealt with is if you're in a relationship where you're physically having to put your hands on the person you're with to make a point, or you're screaming in the person that you're with's face and you can't effectively communicate, you need to ask yourself, is this a relationship that I need to be in? Is this healthy for me? Is this good lines of communication? Because it's not. Like, you shouldn't have to scream, yell, put your hands on somebody to make a point or to feel like you need to be in control of a situation. That's crazy. But I'm guilty, been there, done that, been on both sides of that. But when you know better, you do better. But that relationship, I will forever be changed because of that. And that is what made me really slow down and really reevaluating, okay, right now you're on freaking autopilot. You have got to slow down and really take care of yourself and really work on those things within yourself that you've yet to be even begun to deal with, or things that you're running from. Last I heard, she had the woman that she was with, she had put her in the hospital, but that's none of my business, but as I sip tea. But that, I just send her love and light, and I hope that she gets herself together. But I've forgiven her because I want to continue to grow and evolve and be the best version of myself. So even though that experience was unfortunate, I needed to go through that to really slow down and really work on myself, and not thinking that I could be in a relationship with someone and they were going to fix me and make me happy and make it all better, because you can't be with someone to make them make you happy. They're an extension of you. They're an extension of your happiness, but they can't make you happy. Your happiness is an inside job, and it takes you to be happy, and everything else is a reflection in the mirror of that. So peace, love, and light. You can follow me on Instagram, Free Spirit Coach D32, or Facebook, Miriam or D, or find me as Coach D on Facebook. You can email me also at healinghearts83gmail.com, and I'll also attach my website for other services that you may be interested in as well. So peace, love, and light.